Welcome back, traders. So you came back for some more back testing. If you haven't checked out my back testing guide, I definitely recommend you do that. It's going to be the first video in the playlist. In it, I show you how to record your data, and I give you the model that I will be using for my backtesting session. I will be using it to backtest 2024. As you can see, I have my camera set up, and the idea is to do some live streaming, probably just on the weekend, but this is a recorded video. It's going to be pretty raw with very little editing. And I am kind of new to this, so let me know in the comments if the audio is off, if it's like out of sync or the volume is too high or too low. But anyways, let's not waste too much time. Let's get right into it. So, daily chart pulled up, and we do have the weekly fair value gap in blue. I even went ahead and marked out this volume imbalance, I guess technically a void. So I'm thinking price may draw into that. We can see that we kind of have a breaker here with the high, low, higher, high, and then we're getting displacement down below it. This is going to be the next sell side that I'm looking for a partial, but this is going to be the ultimate goal on the daily chart. Now, it went through the volume balance here. I'm going to go ahead and take it away. So on the higher time frame, going to be pretty bearish. And let's see, this is January 2nd, so this is the day before. I'm going to go ahead and change this to the 4-hour chart just to see if I can get a little bit more insight. Okay, so here we can see this is the sell side I'm looking for, and maybe we can get down here into this void. I did mark out 25, 50, and 75% of this fair value gap on the weekly. So not too much here. So let's go down to the hourly chart. I think let's go to a 20-day hourly. And I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next day, January 3rd, 8 o'clock in the morning here. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm going to try to get through 1 week and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so okay, here, let me just move myself up a little bit. And you don't need to see any of that. So this is the target down over here. We're currently kind of going down on the hourly. Let's see if we stretch this out. Here. So I'm looking at perhaps a minor buy side up here, looking at these relative highs. We kind of already dug below here, so not too excited about that. I want to see maybe a retracement back to this fair value gap. So let's go ahead and draw that out. I'm going to be perfect with it, just kind of just estimating. And let's go down to a 15-minute chart. Okay, and yeah, so I think the idea is if we can come back up to this hourly fair value gap, we will be taking this high out. So I do like how we take a little bit of the buy side liquidity before we head lower. So I think we're going to wait for either a sweep of this high or these relative highs up here. Now let's go down to a 5-minute, and this is going to be the execution time frame. And just going to go ahead and jump ahead. Probably you know what, I'm just going to go to today. Oops, 5 minutes is where I'm going to be at. This is going to be today's action. Move myself a little bit lower here. I'm going to go ahead and just skip ahead. Let's see here. Okay, and just to remind myself, I'm going to go ahead and mark out this buy side as well, and then just let's skip through it. See this fair value gap, and it traded back down into it, so it didn't quite hold up. Getting close to 9:30 now. We took sell side one last time. Hopefully we don't take this sell side before we take the buy side first. Okay, we see this wick up here right before the 9:30 bell went back into that fair value gap. So this could be it. At 9:30, we go for the sell side. Okay, wow, we didn't quite get there. Let's go see if we can take the buy side first. Pretty big displacement. Now, if you notice, what we did was we did take this high, and then we kind of have displacement. Now, if there's a fair value gap here, I could consider it, but ideally, I would like to see a better sweep. Like, at least I want to see this high get taken, because you can see that this was kind of a significant high. If it keeps going down, I may just miss the day's move, but it does look like we take that high out. Now I want to see a fair value gap to the downside. Okay, we did take the sell side. Let's see if we have any lower targets. I'm going to go back on the 15-minute. If we do have, I know we are looking for that the weekly void right here. So it looks like if we go down, we could. I'm going to go back on to the 4 hours, see if there's a fair value gap here we can target. Stretch this out a bit. So it did go below this low into this fair value gap. The next one would be here. So we'll mark this out. This will be my target if I go ahead and take that trade lower. So let's just call this target. Okay, so now let's go back to the 5-minute. So I'm looking for the target. It's actually quite a ways away, about 150 points. But yeah, here potentially we can do a trade. Let's see how it looks if we mark out. I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, so let's change this. Let's just check out the price. Okay, so if the stop is here, we can duplicate this, and let's say the entry is this fair value gap. So, man, I need to open up a calculator here. Okay, so looks like I have 648.25 minus 579.25 is 69 handle. Is 69 points. That's going to be too much. I won't be able to do that. So, So if you remember last time here, I'm going to give you the spreadsheet again. Last time we did take a loss. So the balance is hypothetically at 99.28. So 99.28 times 1%. So about 99. So let's see. I can only risk about 49 points. 49 points. So if I take the 648.25 minus 49, that means my entry's got to be at 599 or higher. So we'll see if it gets there. I may try for an entry, but see. So if we do 599.25. Okay, so if it gets over, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and set a limit order here, and we'll just see if it happens. Got the stop up here. It's gonna just be one contract, and we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and run through it. So this is managing my risk. See, you can see it already went into the fair value gap. Half of that fair value gap, so I could expect this to just keep going down, but it's not within my risk limit, so I'm not going to enter at this price. I will risk this one if it comes up a little bit higher to take me. If not, so be it. It did go lower. I mean, we do have some room still. It could still come take this high and then hit me in, so I'm just going to leave my entry here. If it goes significantly lower, I'll just be out. See, that fair value gap didn't even close in. Okay, so I did get hit here. Now I want to see price go below this low. This could be a partial here. I hope this live stream, or I hope this backtesting video is not too long. And I want to see 50% of this. Okay, so 50% is here. So it would be a little bit less than 101 if I take a partial at that low, but let's go see how it goes. Right now it's working into this fair value gap. It could rally up and stop us out because it did sweep the sell side. So it could be coming up for these relative highs. Yeah, but sticking with the bearish bias from the higher time frame. Okay, and just getting rid of some lies to clean up the chart a little bit. So this 25%, that is 25% of the blue weekly fair value gap. So we're coming up to lunchtime. Hopefully, we get something by 12. I am positive right now. So remember, my time limit is 12:15. If I don't get much, I may just close it. So just gonna close it if it goes below the low or at 12:15. So closing it here, price is 553. Okay, so closing at 553, let's just mark it out. Okay, the closing price. Oh, why is it not showing? Maybe it's here we go. Okay, so closing at that price, taking away this, I'll just leave it here. I can move it later. But anyways, let's pull up the spreadsheet. Not too bad, not too bad. This is the third. I want to go 2025, so I got to type that one. So going short, just one contract, 16,599.25. The risk was 16. I know this is going to be less than 101, but pretty much doing a exit on the time. And I just realized I'm blocking the date, just moving out a little bit. Okay, and then the exit price, 16553.25. So yeah, you can see close to 101, but at least we're still positive. All right, so let's go ahead, go to the next day. So okay, I'm gonna go forward a little bit just to see if it would have worked out. See, lunchtime, it looks like it is ramping up. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the end of day. Remove these prices. Think of the chart. Sales liquidity, gonna leave that there. We could still look for, now I'm gonna go ahead and move this one because it kind of looks like this is a little bit more significant. So let's put it there. Might get rid of it in the future, but let's see how the end of the day looks. We'll go to 5 o'clock. See how it is. And then we'll take a look at the daily chart for the next day. So it did drop down, but let's see, what were we? Okay, so it was right here. It did come back up, took out this high, and then went, so it was kind of just pretty choppy overall, but it did close down on the day. And at least we still got our target for tomorrow, hopefully. So let's, before we go to the next day, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the daily chart. So we did close down on that. Now went into this fair value gap on the daily here. And I think I will mark it out here. Now, hopefully the next day we can go below it and this can act as an inversion fair value gap. I'm gonna just use orange, I think. Okay, So gotta remember that that is a inversion fair value gap. Hopefully inversion fair value gap. And then, yeah, I'm not gonna really drop down to any other time frame. So we'll go to the 1 hour. I'll try not to like stay too long on one day. So next day, 8 o'clock. Let's see how the chart looks. So zooming in here. Wow, just kind of chopped sideways. Don't need this anymore. Buy side liquidity, you know, I'm going to get rid of this line. Just going to move this buy side line down. I think, well, I guess technically this high, right? This looks pretty smooth. Like this is like minor buy side, and I'm actually just going to move it down a little bit more to this high. Sell side liquidity got taken already, so sell side liquidity. Yeah, pretty far. I'm just going to draw a new line. I may not label it. You're going to have to just keep track. Price level 6 is going to be the sell side liquidity. Maybe it's be too confusing. Let's go ahead and just label it. Just going to shortcut or abbreviate it. Okay, here we go. Take a look at 15 minutes. So this looks pretty nice. Took the sell side liquidity. Now I want to see buy side get taken, either these highs right here or this price level 5. This is kind of far. I don't really want to see this traded to all the way. I want to see it come down to that void first, and then maybe use this as a later target. So right now, this is what I'm expecting. We took sell side. I want to come up to take this high right here, or even this high. Doesn't matter. One of these highs I can take it. Then I want to see displacement down, and we'll look for a short to the weekly void. So going down to a 5 minute. Let's go ahead and change it. It is the 4th. So okay. So it's the 4th. Let's just speed things up. Came down one more time. Now I want to see it ramp up. Don't want to be chasing anything right now. It did come and retested this fair value gap, but looking back, I'm not really seeing any sweep of buy side. So all this buy side right here is intact. So just waiting for the buy side, maintaining that bearish bias from the higher time frame. And if it runs away, it runs away. You know, I can't help it. Got to follow the model. Remember, this looks like a gray area. Remember, it was supposed to be orange, but I guess, you know, when it overlays with the blue, it turns into like this grayish. Remember that there was a fair value gap on the daily. It could act as inversion. The sell side here looks like it's right in the middle of it. So coming up here, 15 more minutes until the 9:30 bell. We'll see what kind of volatility 9:30 brings. And we did get a wick up into this fair value gap. It did take out these highs, but really I want to see it come back up here first. So just gonna wait. Okay, so we did come back up some more. See this fair value gap, it could start launching us up to the highs up here. This could be a long, potential long, but the bias is for lower targets. I mean, we're so close to 50% on the weekly fair value gap, and we're getting close to the void. That is target. We do have this low right here. That is also the target. So looking for lower targets, but I want to see retracement back up, maybe just up here. We do have a fair value gap here. That could give me an entry or shorts, but right now just waiting. I want to see price pump up a little bit more. Right now it's kind of just barcoding. Okay, here we get, it did come up above the short-term high. which is good, but I want to see at least these highs get taken and maybe those highs. Okay, it looks like we could be coming up to take those highs. All right, nice. At least these highs get taken. Now we're in this fair value gap. I'll draw it out. I'm just gonna use bars. We got too many overlapping rectangles here. Okay, so just draw this out. Just remember that we have a fair value gap here. Now, it's okay if we go even higher than that, because I want to see those highs get taken. Okay. So I don't know, today may not be a day where I take a trade on this model. Okay, so it did come up. It took out a bunch of sell side or buy side above these highs. Didn't quite take out the highest high just yet, but we are getting some sort of a displacement lower. It's going back below this fair value gap. Let's see. I mean, you can see it was previously used as a little bit of resistance before going through it. And now that is lower below it, we'll see if it could turn into, it could be a reclaimed fair value gap. But we're getting kind of close to noon. My time window is kind of closing. So probably not gonna do a trade today. Just one of those days, but let's see. I'm gonna go to the end of the day, see how it turns out, and we'll take a look at the daily chart for the next day. That's a little problem if I go too late in the day, like between that close of day. So yeah, going back to 5 o'clock, we can see that once we got below this fair value gap, it never went back above it. Although there wasn't really any return to a fair value gap that we could have used as an entry. Not really seeing a breaker either. So yeah, it's just one of those days where our model didn't play out. I'm sure there's some other things, but not the model. So let's take a look at the daily, and we can see that we have closed below this fair value gap that was in gray, going to 50%. This is the target for the next target with this large fair value gap. Although, I don't know, I'm going to duplicate this and set the target for this low, just because there's a void right here as well. So I really want this to, and it also lines up with 75% of this fair value gap. So I think tomorrow we're going to be aiming for those as our targets. I'm going to keep these lines in. I'm going to keep everything in here. All right, so going to the next day, I'm going to switch over to the hourly chart and then go to the next day. Friday. Okay, so this may be the last day I backtest for this video. Let's take a look. Been going on for about 23 minutes, not too bad. Okay, so coming in, we see that this first target already got taken out, but we are below this fair value gap, so we want to see that used as inversion. Okay, so here we'll get rid of this one. Okay, and this one I don't really care about. I mean, it could be significant, but I don't really care about it right now. I'm going to bring the buy side liquidity down. Too many lines here, getting rid of that. We're going to move this buy side down. This one, technically, this one over here is a little bit higher, so put that in there. Lines up with 25% as well. Now, in here, do I see any fair value gaps? There is this one already got used up. There is this one here. We could be coming back for that as an inversion. Although ideally what I'd like to see is I would like to see price sweep these relative highs and then head lower for our target here. This target is already taken, unfortunately. So let's go down to a 15-minute. So on the 15 minutes, we may not get these relative highs taken out. There is a fair value gap here with this high. So if we rally, we could rally back up here. And then from this point, if I see displacement, then that will be okay as well. So still short bias, still looking for lower targets, but I really want to see retracement before I can take a short, especially if we go above these right here, right? This is a pretty significant highs right here as well. So hopefully we take out level 4 and 3, maybe the bias liquidity up there, but let's go ahead and go to the 5-minute and start skipping ahead. Starting to get some rally. I mean, if I'm scalping, I could go down to a 1 minute and, try to take a long, but obviously it would not have worked out. 8:30, there must have been some big news this day. Oh, I forgot. Totally forgot. It is non-farm payroll. So this big giant wick was non-farm payroll. Technically, according to the model, I would not be trading non-farm payroll Thursday or Friday. So I'm just gonna jump right here. So yeah, according to the model, not going to be trading today, but let's just take a look at what 9:30 looks like, and then we'll go to 12 o'clock and see what that looks like. Okay, so here we did trade above those relative highs that I pointed out earlier. And we'll see if we can get up to, sorry, those are the relative highs I was thinking to not get taken. I want these to get taken. Let's go ahead and jump to 12:30. See how the morning price action goes. Remember, I'm not trading non-farm payroll Friday, according to the model. So here we've got, this is taken as well. Just go ahead and start removing these. So we did take out the buy side above here, did not take out these relative highs, although that looks like a pretty tasty target. Looks like we are kind of getting a reversal. We've just shifted below this low. This BTC was rebalanced. Well, it got traded back through, what I mean. Now, we did come and test this sell side, the SIBI, and we could be looking for the day's low as well. And we're going to go ahead and just jump straight to the end of the day. Let's just do 4:30. I think between 4 and 5 o'clock it's okay to look for end of day stuff. So yeah, just kind of retraced back down a little bit. Didn't quite take out the low. It just kind of ended up in the middle of the range. So not too much, but yeah, definitely good thing didn't try taking a short in the morning. That would have been a disaster. But let's take a look at the daily chart for next week. And this video is getting close to about 30 minutes, so may end it here. Looking at the daily, we did retest that fair value gap. It's kind of acting as an inversion now. As you can see, this wick, we rebalanced it and then we came back down and closed at the low of it. So I definitely think going into next week, this void is going to be a nice target. Whether or not we can get below it remains to be unseen. We could aim for this low if we get through this void, but right now I think the best thing is just to aim for the void and just be done with the trade. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video right here. We finished a week. I guess about a week's worth of back testing seems about like the right length. Now, obviously, when I do live streaming, we may do 2 weeks. That way it'll be about 1 hour long. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you do like this kind of back testing content. I will be doing more in 2025. But until next time, guys, safe trading.